Jimmy Butler is unbelievable. That was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. We've known about playoff Jimmy Butler for years now, but on Monday, we saw the best version of playoff Jimmy Butler come to life. With his team down by 10 with just over 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter on Monday, Jimmy Butler went nuclear. Over the last 5:36 of the fourth quarter, Jimmy Butler went for 19 points on 5 of 6 shooting. He was 8 of 9 from the line. He rocked the rim with a dunk and hit a crucial pull-up jumper, which sent everyone into a frenzy. Butler's 56 points represent a new postseason franchise record for the Heat and are tied for the 4th most ever scored in a playoff game. Only Michael Jordan with 63, Elgin Baylor with 61, and Donovan Mitchell with 57 have had more in a playoff game. And Butler not only took over in the fourth quarter, but he took over and set the tone early for the Heat in the first quarter. Jimmy Butler played all 12 minutes in the first Q, scoring 22 points, and he went 9 of 10 from the field in that frame. In a game when Giannis had a 26-point triple-double, it was Jimmy Butler who was undoubtedly the best player on the floor. And just like that, the Miami Heat have the Milwaukee Bucks on the ropes. What's going on, everyone? It is Luca here, back with another video. In this one, I'm going to be talking about the Heat's epic Game 4 win over the Bucks and why the Heat should be feared moving forward. If you guys want to be solid favorite, please hit a like on the video. It does help the algorithm a ton. And please subscribe to the channel for more Heat and NBA content. Help me hit 31K on this channel. So I dropped a video the other day saying that the Miami Heat are a dangerous playoff team. And some thought I was talking crazy and thought that once Giannis was back, the Heat would go back to reality. Well, Game 4 said otherwise. Miami is now up 3-1 and are 1 win away from knocking out the overall number 1 seed from the playoffs. After Miami's win, 538's projection system gives it an 81% chance to advance to the next round. The Heat now have 3 chances to win 1 game, including 1 more chance at home. And the Heat are trying to become just the 5th 8-1 upset in NBA playoff history, and the first since Philadelphia beat the Bulls back in 2012. If the Heat take out Giannis and the Bucks, a big favorite to win the title this year, then all of a sudden, the East feels wide open. Now, for as bad as the Heat look during the regular season and for as inconsistent as they look coming into the playoffs, as long as they had playoff Jimmy Butler on their side, they were going to have a chance. The Heat have shown us many times what they're capable of. The 2020 bubble, last year's postseason run, and you're starting to get the feeling that this year could be another special run for Jimmy Butler and this Heat team. Butler is averaging 36.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5 assists in the first round against the Bucks. I'm just hooping, playing basketball the right way, taking the shots that defense gives me. Stay aggressive, Butler said. A lot of shots went in. My teammates kept feeding me the ball, telling me to attack. When you got teammates like that, good things happen, close quote. It seems like a switch just goes off for Jimmy Butler when the playoffs begin. Last year, he averaged 27.4 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 4.6 assists in 17 games. And back in 2020, when Jimmy Butler led the Heat to the finals in the bubble, he averaged 22.2 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 6 assists a game in 21 games. But aside from Jimmy Butler looking like Michael Jordan's legitimate son, the others have stepped up as well. And what has really gone the Heat's way so far this series is that they have connected on 48% of their 3-point tries, easily the top mark for any team in the first round of the playoffs. And what's even more impressive is that they've been able to do this despite missing Tyler Hero, their best shooter, who broke his hand in Game 1. 6 of the 7 Heat players with at least 10 3-point attempts in this series have outperformed their regular season marks, led by Jimmy Butler and Duncan Robinson, who has rediscovered his shooting form from the bubble after falling out of Eric Spoelstra's rotation. Duncan Robinson in the playoffs so far is 13 of 17 from 3-point land. This dude cannot miss from beyond the arc. Now, aside from that, Caleb Martin was big in the fourth quarter in this one, and Kyle Lowry, he did a great job defensively late. Kyle Lowry shows why he's so important with his veteran presence on a playoff team. And of course, when Jimmy Butler erupts for 56 points, it makes everyone else's job a whole lot easier. Now, for as good as things have looked for the Heat, this series is not over just yet. With 2 more potential home games and a healthy Giannis, the Bucks have legitimate reasons to hope for a comeback. You know it's going to be tough to get that last one against this Bucks team. But from the Heat's perspective, winning one more game, even against an opponent as scary as the full-strength Bucks, is even more likely as long as they can count on playoff Jimmy Butler. You know Jimmy Butler has at least one more special game in him for the rest of this series. They proved in Game 4 as well that they can win a close game against Giannis and the Bucks. All the chatter was, of course, about how the Heat were winning these games against the Bucks without Giannis playing the full game. Well, Giannis was back for Game 4, and he looked good, and he put up a nice stat line, but the Heat not only won that game, but they did it in come-from-behind fashion. So if the Heat can beat the Bucks one more time, they'll have a day with most likely the Knicks. Wouldn't that be a crazy fun series in the second round, just like the old days where you would have the Knicks going up against the Heat? That would be special. And then if the Heat get by the inexperienced Knicks, we could very well get Celtics versus Heat once again in the Eastern Conference Finals. That would be unreal. And when you look at what the Heat can all of a sudden accomplish and what's in front of them, I never understood how some Heat fans were calling for this team to tank or to even blow it up. Yes, they weren't in an ideal spot in the playoff bracket. And yes, they did lose to the Hawks and they were down to their last lifeline to get into the playoffs. But when you looked at this Heat roster, they have the pieces to make a run. This is a team that has a proven track record, and we know it's all about what you can do in the playoffs. And right now, the Heat are showing us that they pick it up a notch once the postseason starts, and that stems largely from Jimmy Butler's lead. So this Miami Heat team, they're only 1 year removed from making a deep playoff run last season. You knew they weren't going to just go away quietly. It didn't matter that they were going up against the overall #1 seed. The Heat were going to make this tough. And the Heat went from almost missing the playoffs to now just being 1 win away from making NBA history and being an 8 seed to knock off a 1. And Jimmy Butler and the Heat are not only looking to win this round, they're looking to make a run again and this time go all the way. They've come close in years past. Maybe this is the year for the Heat to do something special with Jimmy Butler at the forefront. As long as playoff Jimmy Butler is healthy and he's performing like this, you simply can't bet against the Heat. So this has just been a remarkable turn of events in this series. You got the feeling that things were going to shift to the Milwaukee Bucks' favor once Giannis returned to the lineup. But after what we just saw in Game 4 and what transpired, I mean, you gotta like Miami's chances of closing out the series. And then from there on out, there's no telling how far this Heat team can go. Jimmy Butler is playing on another level. When he's in his bag, you can't stop him. So, Heat fans, how are you feeling after that exciting Game 4 victory? And do you think the Heat can wrap this thing up on the road in Game 5? And how far do you see this Heat team going overall? Let me know your full thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, guys, please hit a like on the video. It does help the algorithm a ton. And please subscribe to the channel for more Heat and NBA content. I will continue to cover the series, so your support is greatly appreciated. That is it for me. This is Lucas signing off. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next video.